The Roy Lopez is one of the most studied openings in all of chess, and boasts an incredibly high draw rate. Hence, I haven't covered it whatsoever on this channel. Until now, that is. There's an opening in this system that almost nobody has studied, has never been played in an over-the-board tournament, and has less than 2,000 games played online, total. This is, ladies and gentlemen, the Kevit's Gambit. Now, without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, you might be wondering, what even is the Kevit's Gambit? Well, it begins with, of course, the Roy Lopez, as we've previously mentioned. Now, if you look in the database, you don't even find the move that starts this off. The least common move that's in here is d5 at a 0% chance of occurring. But instead of playing that, we're going to play something that is 3 times less likely to occur, which is this move, pawn to g6. This is already something that very, very few people will ever see, or let alone play. And now white right here, if we go in the master's database, will almost always play c3. And this is just so drawish. And now we're already going to play a move that no master has ever played before. There are no games found like this. F5. There are no games. Nobody anywhere. But luckily, we have the Lichess database. And here we have 1,500 games. And this is not much to work with, but we're still going to try. So, of course, the most common response is accept the gambit. But if we take back here, you'll actually notice that this is really, really bad for us, because now he just takes back, we take back with something, he just takes here, and this queen coming down to h5, and there's not much we can do about it. We just have an open position. He's going to castle, the rook's going to come in, we're going to lose everything, and it's not going to be very good. So instead of taking back, we're going to play this weird move, which is e4. Now, the best move is actually to go here and allow double pawns. But most opponents are not going to see that. They're going to think, okay, well, I don't want to get double pawns. That just seems like that would ruin my advantage. So instead, I'm going to intermezzo, play this little in-between move of taking, then I'm going to take back, and then I'm going to play knight to d4. And this is actually true here because 70% of people will play knight to d4. This is already slightly losing. We're slightly winning as black. Because now we're going to play c5. And this actually does boast a 48% win rate. Well, 59 actually, if we take a look at everything, but some things are just stupid. I mean, who plays knight e2 here? Come on. But the most common move is knight to e6, but the main line here is to go knight to b3. And so instead of pushing here, which has happened in only 3 games, we are actually going to play this move queen to d3, which completely prevents the opponent from castling. Now you'll notice that basically everybody here plays queen to e2. This has a 100% win rate for white. Now, most people here will actually just take on f5, and well, that is what's happened in all the top games, except, of course, this one between Cosmo Golden and Johansson. So here, we are going to play a5, just like Cosmo Golden and Johansson have played. And you'll notice that we are actually threatening to trap the knight with this nice little move a4. And so we're assuming he's going to trade the queens. This is all assumption. Maybe you wouldn't do this. I mean, I have no database here because this opening is just so rare, but we're going to take back. And now he wants to stop us from trapping the knight, so he's going to play a4, and we're just going to take back here, and you'll notice that he has no activity. There's nothing he can do. This knight can sort of go out here, but we're just going to play bishop to d3. This knight can't go anywhere. Look, this is gone. This can't go here because this can't go here because this. This bishop is so buried. This rook is also buried. Even though our advantage is completely positional, we're actually up 4 points positionally. Even though we don't have any attack, because all his pieces are trapped behind the other ones, and there is simply nothing that he may do. Now, you cannot expect a great position like that every single game. In fact, this next line is going to be a little more common. So after the normal Kevits, yes, we've been over this. He plays his in-between move, and he goes to d4. We go here. Most people will play knight to e6. Here we are going to take back, because everything else loses. He's going to take, we're going to play here. He just plays queen e2, we long castle, he takes, we take back, he castles, we play knight h6, and he is faced with the exact same problem. He doesn't have any development whatsoever. This pawn on c3 is becoming a serious problem for him. He might try to push it forward or something, but then we just go here, and this is actually going to be +2 yet again. Because we're just going to have everything out, and there's not going to be anywhere that he can really do anything with the knight with. And utilizing any of his pieces is actually going to be a significant challenge for him, whereas we have complete development, and his one pawn advantage is going to be very quickly taken away from him, because he has no real good way of hanging on to this pawn here. The engine is actually straight recommending that he give it up, and we just take back, and there's just nothing he can do here. Now, not every trap is for black. White actually has a trap he can play here, which is after knight to d4, c5, he can sacrifice the knight. Now, this is already incredibly winning for us, but even my childhood hero, who is Jonathan Schrantz, as you can see, did actually fall for this. Because after takes, which Jonathan Schrantz did actually play, that's one of my favorite chess YouTubers. Queen h5, knight f6, Mr. Andre 2910-2008 actually played g7 check, took on h5, and then he made a queen. Now the best move here was to actually just move the queen here and basically trap in the opponent's queen like so, right? Because now there's just not very many active places he can place the queen. If he tries to take here or something, then you just go over this. He's going to get this pawn, and you're going to get too much activity. It wants him to play this now. You don't even block. You actually go here. There's this. You just keep blocking. It just wants him to check you all that. So eventually he'll get back here, but you should have enough positional compensation that this is actually somehow very winning for black right now. Oh, I mean, I can see what's right in mate. This is the only move here. You just go here, and you should actually be winning the queen. But that's just not what happened in the game that Jonathan played. What happened in the game was he played bishop to f5 because not always does the gambiter win. And this actually blunders this fork right here. And this is just the only game that was ever played like this. And here, Jonathan sadly resigned the game. There is one other move in the gambit that I have not covered, that the refutation to is not inherently obvious. E2. So here we're going to play queen to e7, of course, which breaks this pin, thus reinstating this attack, and also defends the pawn a second time. Hence, most people here, 60%, will take on c6. This looks a lot like the line from earlier. And yes, it is. So here, c5, and 40% of people will play knight to b3. And you'll notice this is -2 yet again. So we're going to take here. He's going to castle. We're going to castle. These are just the most common moves. And knight to a3 is just the most common move here. And, I mean, that's what a human being would play, just a rational human being. So here, instead of playing anything that's in the database, we're going to play this move, queen to h4. We're just going for this attack. I figure that a reasonable human would play knight to b5, which is certainly a solid response from the evaluation. We play knight f6, sacking this pawn. I assume most people would take. King to b8, obviously. He goes back, and we play rook to d3. The queen can't go anywhere to defend. We are going to have a massive attack on the king side. There's just not much white can do here, and this is most likely going to lead to a checkmate because we just have so many ideas. Just for example, you can play g3, we go here. He does this, we just push forward. If he is to take, then we just take back. And there's, like, we're sacrificing a knight, sure, but now let's, like, sack the rook. Here, this is going to actually probably be some sort of mating thing. Something like this is just a nice little sacrifice that wins everything, but still. There are just so many weird lines here, and you're just never going to see the end of this. I highly recommend you study by yourself now, but this has been Blundered Games, signing off.